Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 1 with our Cryptolith Rite deck. I think this is pretty much, this is pretty much ideal. I think we'd want a few more lands. We are very vulnerable to any sort of enchantment hate, which there is a little bit of it going around just as a way to do with the choppers, but not too much. I think that people were preferring to go creature removal rather than artifact removal to deal with the chopper. So Blooming Marsh into the Night Market Lookout is really good turn 1, and then we have Cryptolith Rite on turn number 2, or actually a Deathcap Cultivator would be the better card. And then we need to get into some of our late game, but we do have the Cultivator of Blades that can actually be pretty decent with even what we have going here. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. So I would love to hit into something even like a Duskwatch Recruiter. We're going up into another black-green deck, so this should be interesting. Most of them are using choppers these days in a black-green Delirium, and that was a perfect card to draw into as we have a Catacomb Sifter to play on turn number 3, or we could even, if we draw lands, we could get into the Cultivator. I think we want to just put out the Sifters as quickly as possible. So our opponent is just going to scoop. That's really not what we wanted to see. I don't know what I'm up against. Maybe he missed a land drop, or don't know what's going on. But we're on to game number 2 here. So this is another Cryptolith Rite hand. We'll keep it. See if our opponent actually wants to play this time. We are in a 2-man queue. It starts up the exact same. We'll go the Loam Dryad. And this is, again, a really good hand. So Loam Dryad. See if our opponent scoops turn 2 again. And there's the Aether Hub. And the Servant of the Conduits. So, yeah, I don't know exactly what. It still seems like the Emrakul Delirium deck is the list. So we'll go Cryptolith Rite this turn, unless Zulaport Cutthroat is a little bit better. So the Cutthroat comes out, and we'll pass the turn. So we have Cryptolith Rite next turn, which can also get the Master, which then can get the Weaponcraft Enthusiast. So actually we're into a Jund list, so maybe Jund control? It is going to be a Scrap Heap Scrounger, so it's going to be Jund Amalgam? Possibly? So double Scrap Heap Scrounger. Not too worried about it because of the Zulaport Cutthroat. I do not like drawing 3 cryptos, of course. That's not what you want to see. But we can get out the Weaponcraft Enthusiast and tap our lands correctly. Put out some servos, which then gives us a lot of play next turn, even with the Westvale Abbey. So it might not even be a deck that can deal with Westvale Abbey. So we'll wait and see what comes out. Worst case scenario is a Kalitas. Best case scenario is, or worst case scenario is actually a board wipe here. Nope, just a haster. Do we care? Not sure we do. I think we just let it all happen. For what happens with this, he has to sack it unless he does have plenty of energy. So we could actually take out the Scrapper. We have a Master next turn again. 4, 6, 10, 12. I think we'll just take the damage. He'll pay the, I'm sure he'll pay the, the Hellion fee. And we have Master. That is going to, we could actually just go for the Westvale Abbey right now. And yeah, not quite. I think we'll go tap the Loam Dryad and then the Enthusiast. No, Enthusiast is something we're okay with killing. Oh, we have to tap both of them anyway. But the Master will come out. And I believe we will Fabricate here. Servos. And then pass the turn. So our opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. See if he attacks him with everything. I think that's kind of a dumb attack, but is what it is. As we have plenty of blockers. I don't even... We'll probably just block. No, that's fine. I'm okay with just blocking as is. So get a lot of triggers here. He's going to lose 6 life. We're going to gain 3 life. And he'll have to pay for his Hellion this turn again. It's going to be a Duskwatch Recruiter. And there's the pay. So we get a Duskwatch Recruiter. So here we could actually sack everything and just win, I believe. Because that is plenty of damage through the Cryptolith Rite. So 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, and kill, 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 and kill, and kill. I think that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, I don't think I... Do I Westvale it here? So it's 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 9 damage. Perfect. Does he have something that can combat it? I'm not quite sure what that would be. It'd be response. I think it's actually too risky. So I think that the safe route is just to put out another Master. And it's just going to get servos again, since we have the Cutthroat. And then we can actually tap a Cutthroat and a Master and get a Duskwatch. So see if he did have something to deal with. Nope, he does Duskwatch. So we could have actually won there. I was thinking like Complete Disregard in response, kill the Master, or the Zulaport Cutthroat would put him down to like a 1, and then backswing, you never know, 3, 6. And I doubt he could actually dish off enough damage. So probably the Westvale was the right line of play. But I don't think he can wipe the board here, because that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, there's no way. In fact, all of these servo tokens are just going to wreak havoc. They're going to do 2 each, or 3 each from the Zulaport Cutthroat and the double Masters. So even with like a mulligan or two dead cards in hand, we take this game over quite handedly. This is exactly what the deck is supposed to do. Our opponent flooded out very, very quickly too with his... Jeez. It's a pretty decent strategy. Just Jund to aggro. And he's got a Brawler and another Untamed. So the Brawler comes in. It does not have haste. It does give another way to energy for the Hellion. Yeah, there's a lot of strategies right now. Week 1 was just dominated by either these humans or like either white red aggro or black red aggro. But it seems like there's a lot more viable options out there. Most decks do still use the chopper. And he's going to concede, and that's a wrap. We'll go on to the next match. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. We're with match number 2. It looks like the guy wants a rematch because he queued up immediately after I queued up. So we will get a rematch of the last deck unless he switched it up. You always keep Cryptolith Rite hands no matter what. We have a Foul Orchard or Hissing Quagmire into second turn Cryptolith Rite. So that's not a bad exchange, and then into a Catacomb Sifter. So the only way we get so far behind is drawing into too many lands. So he matches a Hissing Quagmire for Hissing Quagmire. Unfortunately, we'll do the Marsh here because we do want the Cryptolith Rite, but we do draw into another land. So there's the Cryptolith Rite. We'll have the Catacomb Sifter next turn, which can ramp us into basically anything. So dead draws or lands and 2 more Cryptolith Rites. So we have 17, 18, 19 cards we don't want to draw into. So here comes the 2-drop, which is going to be probably the 3-2. Yeah, then we'll take Brawler, which is very decent of a... So what does it do when it gets +1/+1 if it uses an energy? So we draw into another land, which is definitely not ideal. Forest will come out here, or just a swamp, and we'll put out the Catacomb Sifter. The good news is we're definitely keeping up with aggression against our opponent. We have Hissing Quagmires we can now use at our disposal because all of our creatures are mana generators, so keep that in mind. The Brawler is going to get in there for 4 damage. We need to draw in a Zulaport Cutthroats or a Westvale Abbey as soon as possible. See if he pays the... They have to show us, too, with that. They can't, in response, pay an energy to block. So another Brawler. So the double Brawler hand. Let's see if we can draw into a creature. Cultivator of Blades, and that's a beautiful one. As we can actually... No, I think we still want servos. So I'm going to go Quagmire. And we'll put out these servo tokens because this means if we get a Westvale Abbey, then we can just use the Westvale Abbey. He does have 3 energy. That means he can use 2 more activations of the Brawler. I'm attacking in for quite a bit too. Like I could take this match back with just a few decent attacks. So he's going to get an energy if a land comes into play. So these Brawlers can continue to be able to yeah, we'll go down to 8. I think that's fine. We can definitely absorb a lot of damage. We have Quagmires that can kill him next turn. But this is actually quite concerning. He has a 2/3 that can attack, and we can block that with a Sifter. And unfortunately, we draw into yet another. I'm just going to go with another Cryptolith Rite in case he has a way to kill it. But that was not a card we wanted to draw into. So at this point, I'll trade a Hissing Quagmire. So see if he uses the last 2. We do have to worry like Incendiary Flow or any sort of removal. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll probably end up blocking with the Sifter at this point. So the Cultivator of Blades is just going to add so block here, and also block here. Now give us some scries. He'll lose both of them. We only take 2 damage, go down to a 6. And at this point, I think we're in decent shape. So if we get a scry, put that on the bottom. And see if we can draw a non-land here. Perfect card to draw into, a Duskwatch Recruiter. That's going to definitely fill back up our hand. So 4 cards in our opponent hand, we're down to a 6. So that's always scary. And the Cub's actually a decent card too because it progresses very well. We do have another Quagmire that can block next turn though. So we get the Duskwatch Recruiter. And this way we can activate our Quagmire next turn to block the Cub. And still get an activation off. And our opponent is down to 3 cards. So the Architect of the Untamed is going to be able to be a renewable resource. So there's the Hellion, which isn't that big of an issue because we can just chump block it. This is probably the one we want to throw in front of the... And attacking with everything, huh? Okay. So we are going to tap the Cultivator. And get another Quagmire. And now we've got to be smart about it. He didn't put a counter on. Yeah, it might just push through, which is crazy. We don't get scries here, so I guess I shouldn't have blocked the Catacomb Sifter onto the Brawler. But I wanted to kill off those Brawlers. They were getting really out of hand. One activation has to use it. I think we go here. And just one in front and go down to a 2. I think that's the right line of play. We could go on front of the Cub. We'd actually kill the Cub with the Duskwatch Recruiter. But then be at the mercy of top decks, which I think we need Recruiter to stay alive. So I just have to only block like that. And we will go down to a 2. Oh, you can use it at any time. Let's see, 4, yep, that's actually, I misread that. I thought it was when it was attacks. That's the one where you can use it at any time. All right, so we die here. My bad. My bad. So we had to block there as well. Or just the Quagmire on it. See what we would have drawn into. Might have been, up. All right, that probably wouldn't have. We would have found a Master, but not been able to cast it. If we would have blocked here. 1, 2... Yeah, I guess we had an activation. I guess we would have been able to cast it. 1, 2, 3. Probably would have pushed through eventually. We'll bring in Pariahs. They're fine against this. Complete Disregards are also okay. We can slow him down, but I just don't think that's the right way to go. Not going to really play anything else. It's just the Pariahs come in. The Providences can probably come out. I don't think we need to go over top of it. And so the Cultivator of Blades as well can probably just come out, and we will just keep this. All right, very good hand. The Cutthroats and the Night Market Lookout are going to be very, very key. We'll start off with the Blooming Marsh and go Night Market Lookout. And then we have the Duskwatch Recruiter, which also makes him cast some cards. So more lands of merit at this point because we do want to get into that Master. So we'll just put out a Forest and Duskwatch Recruiter and attacking with the Night Market Lookout. Which gives us that really good 1 life and 2 damage swing. See if he has a Harness Lightning killing a Duskwatch Recruiter. All right, that's better than killing off the Zulaport Cutthroat in my opinion. So, and it uses his turn. So the Cryptolith Rite's awesome here because we can go Cryptolith Rite. And the Zulaport Cutthroat. And we are good to go. We have the Master next turn. So he puts out his 4/4 haster. Nope, just a Brawler. 3 energy, though. Has a lot of activations with the Brawler. But here's a Westvale Abbey. And our buddy. Called the Marionette Master. So we'll actually put out a bunch of servos. I think that's still the right route to go. Because we do have the Westvale Abbey. It's going to be very difficult for our opponent to deal with. And the Cub is not very good. He needs a way to deal. Another Cub is not going to do it. It's just going to be extremely difficult for him to push through the Westvale Abbey. Sifter's great, but we will just go all in on the Westvale. And actually just tap the lands. So tap all of these for black. And then this can be a green. And that is enough. Yeah, so I think we will go the Catacomb Sifter and then the Westvale Abbey. Because we can still tap. We can actually leave one back. Yeah, we can Night Market. Look out. There we go. So there is the Westvale Abbey. Kill, 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 and kill. So we want to keep the Night Market Lookout? Yeah, that's right. So perfect. And there's the concession, because I believe that's lethal. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. Okay, we're on to game 3 again. This is actually a pretty crazy matchup. So I might need on this, we might need complete disregards. It will take care of some of the more problematic cards. The Evangel's actually kind of cool too, because you can sacrifice a bunch of creatures and get a bunch of 3/2s. But I just don't think Cultivator's the right route to go. We want to get out as many of like the yeah, so I'm just going to go down to 1 complete disregard, because we want everything else. Everything else is clutch. The Loam Dryads to really ramp us. Maybe the Cultivators, the Deathcap Cultivators can be replaced, or just the Loam Dryads for complete disregards. Let's go with that. Now watch him get out those 1/1s, hasters for 1. Another solid hand. We have the complete disregard. Our opponent mulls to 6. Mulls to 5. I think with a 5 hand, it's going to be very, very tough to push through. Forest into nothing. And we have Quagmire into Cutthroat. Or maybe just Quagmire into... Yeah, Cutthroat will probably still be... I might go Quagmire into Quagmire just to guarantee that complete disregard. There's the hub. See if he gets out the dreaded 3/2. Transgress. Transgress does hit. See what he hits. That takes his turn though, so I'm actually okay with this if he takes the complete disregard. Because now we can just go Zulaport Cutthroat. And he'll take the Master. Sure. Yeah, that's the only thing you can take, right? Yep. So we have another Cryptolith Rite. We're just going to go Zulaport. Because this means next turn we can go Cryptolith Rite and Hissing Quagmire. Evolving Wilds is going to keep him back, especially since he had to use a Transgress the Mind mana. Almost missed with that Transgress. So this should be an easy victory here. So we'll go with the Cryptolith Rite. And he'll Evolving Wilds. That's expected. Get that red source. And then we have the Quagmire that comes into play tapped. And we're able to attack in with the Cutthroat. Now he could put out the 4/4 haster next turn. Not a big deal. The Cutthroat's going to add us a ton of value. We have the complete disregard next turn that we can actually cast if it is something that is very problematic. And nothing from our opponent. So at this point, this is where the enthusiasts become really good, because they ramp us up. We'll get some servos. And once again, attacking with the Cutthroat. Do miss a land drop, which is sets us back from getting the other Cutthroat out. We have an entire turn. No Harness Lightnings, nothing. Next turn we have a lot of aggression coming out with the Cutthroat and another Enthusiast. Alright, no play by our opponent. Blooming Marsh does come into play tapped. So I think the first thing we do is put out another Cutthroat. This way he'll need to kill it. Could be waiting for me to overextend. At this point, though, I have a really good game plan, even if he does have a board wipe, which I don't think there is any in this Jund list. It's still going to be Kalatos that's going to be the key card. But it does seem like our opponent just got very, very flooded off of 5 mulligan. So see if this is the hazardous conditions. Yep. But that is a lot of Zulaport Cutthroats. Triggers. With Hissing Quagmires coming down the... Oh, actually, he's just dead. He's just dead to the Zulaport Cutthroat triggers. We had enough. Womp womp. Oh, and there is the concessions. We're 2-0. I'll try to get a different match, but that shows you how well it does versus the aggro matchups. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again and hope to see you soon.